Hey guys, Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review. This time I'm back with another fragrance review and we're going to be looking at another cheap or affordable fragrance for you guys. I've been having a lot of fun checking out some of these more affordable fragrances to give reviews to you guys. And so I've got another one. This one is Guess 1981 Indigo. So this is a really nice looking bottle. This is a 100 ml bottle. I picked this one up for about $20 online. So in this review, I'm going to tell you how this smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go and get started. So in the opening, when I first spray this on, I get hit with a few different notes all at once. I get coconut, I get fig, and I get some cedarwood. There's also some iris thrown in there as well. It's really an interesting mix of notes, and at first I didn't really know how I felt about it because you have the coconut, which gives it this nice tropical summery smell, and then you have fig, which gives it a nice kind of sweetened undertone, but then there's the cedarwood that gives it like a woodiness and a little bit of a dry quality. It's just an odd mixture of notes because you have this nice sweet coconut and fig. It smells very summery and very fresh. Then you have the cedarwood, which is a little bit dry, a little bit scratchy. I almost dropped my bottle. It's a little bit dry, it's a little bit scratchy, and it almost doesn't really fit together right away. As it starts to dry down, the cedarwood becomes more present along with some lavender, gives it a little bit of a powdery and masculine touch overall. The coconut is still there, but it's not as present as when I first spray it on. Iris is present, but it's not overboard, so for those of you who kind of freak out at the sight of iris, I know a lot of people don't like that note. They think it's too feminine or lipstick smelling or makeup bag smelling. Not to worry. When it comes to this fragrance, it's not all that strong. It is there. I do pick up on it, but I pick up on the coconut, the fig, the cedarwood, and the lavender more so than the iris. Like I said, when you first spray it on, it's a very interesting combination of notes. It's not really something that I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that cedarwood and lavender to be there as much and as strong. I was more expecting to just get the coconut and the fig. The cedarwood does give it a little bit of a unique quality mixing with those notes. I'm not saying cedarwood is a unique note because it's not. It's used in tons of men's fragrances. But mixing it with coconut and with fig and just the way that this smells is something that's quite a bit different than what you would normally smell in like a summer fragrance or like a tropical coconut fragrance. In my opinion, this is pretty unique stuff. This isn't something that I've really smelled that often. Virgin Island Water by Creed, that's a great coconut fragrance. Doesn't smell anything like this. They're completely different types of fragrances. They really have taken this and made it somewhat different than what you would normally get when you're looking at summer fragrances, especially with coconut and with fig and things like that. The way I kind of describe this one is it is unique. It does have a nice, unique overall touch, that coconut and that fig mixing, but it does have just a little bit of a generic cologne-y type of smell. If you know what I'm talking about, this is a designer fragrance by Guess, so you would expect that it will be a little bit mass pleasing, and it is. It does have a little bit of a unique smell, like I said, but it does have a little bit of this like cologne-y, generic fragrance type of smell in there, just a little bit to make it safe and to make it pleasing to the general public. I think it smells really good. I'm really happy with the scent. My girlfriend did not like this one at all. When I had her smell it for the first time, she said it smelled like shit, like trash, trash. She didn't like it at all. But the reason why that is because she's not a fan of coconut. She doesn't really like coconut, so that also means she doesn't like Virgin Island Water and any other coconut fragrances. She's not going to like them, so because of that reason, she's not a fan of this one. If you do like coconut though, I don't see why you wouldn't like this one. That is, to my nose, one of the most dominant notes. It doesn't really stick out too much over the cedarwood, over the lavender, over the fig, but it is still in there and you do still pick up on it a lot. So depending on your girlfriend's taste or your wife's taste, this may not be the safest purchase if she's not a fan of coconut, because this is a little bit different. This isn't your typical blue, freshy, ambroxan, bergamot, lavender type of scent. Even though the bottle does look like that, you would think this would maybe be an ambroxan balm or something along those lines, but it's really not. So this may not be the safest for you depending on what your significant other likes, but what I can tell you that is pretty safe is checking out my decant course over on chaosfragrances.com. If you want to earn back some of the money that you've spent over the years collecting fragrances and you want to use that money to build up your collection even more, definitely check out the course. It's the first link down below. So let's go and talk about performance on this one. This performs pretty good on my skin. Longevity wise, I'm getting about 7 hours or so on my skin, which is really solid considering, again, this is a $20 fragrance and it's a 100ml bottle. Projection is about moderate. It doesn't push out too strong, but it's also not fully a skin scent. I would say it leans a little bit more towards, the lower end of projection than it does push out, which is fine. Do keep in mind though, this is going to perform differently in different temperatures. So in the heat, this is going to project better than, being in a little bit of cooler air. And here where I live right now, we haven't had too many days where it gets really, really hot. We've been up in the 60s and 70s so far, but once it gets up into, the 80s and 90s, that's when it'll be interesting to see how this projects. And in that type of weather, it's probably going to project a little bit more. I'm not saying that I would wear this in 90-degree weather because this is a little bit sweet. If you were to do something like that, you're going to want to limit your sprays a little bit. Me personally, I would choose something more light and fresh like Dior Homme Cologne, which I just did a review on, something along those lines, more of a citrus-based fragrance. But you see what I'm trying to say here, the more heat you have on this thing, the more it's going to project. So yeah, performance, really, really good, very solid, especially when we're talking about a fragrance of this price. A lot of cheapies in the summer don't really perform that good, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people hate on them or they end up skipping them or not trying them, is because of performance. I can tell you though, this one performs really good, and that's awesome because like I just said, it's hard to find really solid cheap summer fragrances that smell really good and perform really good. It's usually either one of the two and you kind of had to pick and choose your battles, but when it comes to this one, it has them both. To me, it smells really good and it also performs good on my skin as well. So when can you wear this fragrance? More of a casual spring and summer scent, more so leaning to summer in my opinion than spring, just because that whole coconut and tropical smell just smells like more of a summer fragrance to me. Like I said earlier though, when talking about performance and the super, super high heat, you'll probably want to be careful with this one because this does have a lot of depth. It's got heavier notes. So if you are going to be wearing it in the summer, just be cautious of that. Limit your sprays a little bit if you're going to be out in the blazing sun and just go from there. So yeah, spring, summer, casual wear, more of a summer fragrance to me, but anytime in the warm weather, you could pull this one off. Super easy to wear. It would be a great dumb reach fragrance for spring and summer. If you want something cheap that's going to be able to get you all throughout summertime, you'll want to check this one out. Compliment factor on this one will be pretty good, I would say. Again, like I said, my girlfriend, not a fan of this one at all. So, I haven't gotten any compliments from her. I have gotten compliments from myself though, so that's all that matters. Honestly though, I think this is going to do pretty good for you in terms of compliments. People that like coconut, I think are really, really going to like this scent. And people who just like nice tropical summery smelling scents in general, I think are really going to enjoy this. It does have that nice unique coconut fig mixture, but like I said earlier, it's got a little bit of a cologne, almost like a cologne, somewhat generic type of undertone to it as well, which gives it a nice mass appealing overall smell. On top of that, it also performs pretty solid, especially for a summer fragrance of this price. So that's all going to help with compliments as well. People are going to be able to smell this one on you. And that's always one of the big reasons why people don't get compliments. A lot of times it's because the fragrance just doesn't project or doesn't last. That's mostly the case with summer fragrances, so you really had to be careful there. A lot of citrus fragrances, they aren't going to project well. They aren't going to perform that well in general. So because of that, it's going to be harder to get compliments. But with this one here, this one does really good, so you shouldn't have an issue with that. So I have already mentioned the price, but just to touch on it again, pick this one up for about $20 online. I got this one off of eBay somewhere. That's a fantastic price. For what you're getting with this scent, I think it's a great deal. Highly recommend pretty much anyone who wants a cheap summer fragrance and who likes coconut to go check this one out. Like I said earlier, if you like coconut scents, if you like these tropical summery smelling scents, I think this would be a good blind buy at about $20. It's hard to go wrong with that. If you're not really into coconut, if you're not really into those types of fragrances, you just might want to give this one a pass. But I'd say for a lot of you out there who are kind of having fun with collecting these cheapies for summer, definitely look into this one. I think this is probably my favorite one out of the ones I've picked up and reviewed so far. It just performs really good. It smells really good. I'm just really happy with this purchase overall. So again, highly recommend you go give this one a try if you're looking for that sort of thing. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So guys, that was it for the review. That is my review on Guess 1981 Indigo. If you've actually tried this fragrance, let me know what you think of it down below. Also, let me know down below some other cheap summer fragrances to check out. I'm still going to keep this series going if I can, because I'm really having a lot of fun checking out some of these, trying to find some hidden gems. I know this one has been talked about a little bit. I'm not the first person to talk about this one, so I'm still kind of looking. I'm trying to find some really good stuff for you guys, so let me know if you have any ideas down below. And that's going to do it, guys. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.